Welcome, Lumineers and fans of the happiest card game on earth. My name's John T. You've just been put in the inkwell with a pile of reveals from various content creators around the internet. As always, we try and keep these videos as pacey as possible, so we will dive straight in. We start off with a one-costed inkable action in steel. I believe it's called Olympus would be that way, at least that's the quote that I'm pretty sure this one is pulling from. Your characters gain 3 strength this turn whilst challenging a location, a common card with art by Michaela Martin. This one again seems to be an advert on Reddit in German, super specific, but you know, we'll take reveals where we can get them. And I don't think this one's great really, awesome art, but this is just a super specific use case that probably just doesn't really find a slot in a deck. Next up, a 2-costed inkable 2/2 for 1 lore, Miss Bianca, Rescue Aid Society agent. She's a Storyborn hero with Singer 4. Any of you who saw my last video will know how much of a soft spot I have for the Rescuers, so despite this being a functional reprint of Sebastian, I still absolutely adore her. This one was shared by a German streamer, Liza Grimm. Would love to see a better resolution copy of this one because I absolutely adore all the characters listening to her sing in this scene. Oh my god, I just love the Rescuers. I've watched... Is this really bad that since I showed off Bernard the other day, I've watched it twice. Giulia Amici, an Italian Instagrammer, got to share this next one, a 1-costed inkable 2/1 for 1 lore in Amethyst, Diablo. Yeah, a loyal familiar perhaps? Dreamborn ally with the ability In Search of Aurora. Whenever you play a character named Maleficent, you may look at the top card of your deck, put it either on the top or the bottom of your deck. Common card with art by Agnes Christiansen. And I don't think this is terrible. It's basically doing the same thing as Merlin's Squirrel, but it is relatively conditional, needing that Maleficent in play there. It goes very nicely with Maleficent's Sorceress, the one that's letting you draw a card anyway. Both of those abilities are on play abilities, so you will be able to resolve them in the order that you see as fit. And obviously you're going to be doing the scry, you're going to be looking at the top of your deck before you draw the card. So that's nice, but I don't know whether it's really nice enough for this to warrant play over something like Pascal or Olaf that's currently really sort of holding the one slot in the Amethyst deck. Next up, a really fun card here shared by my good friends Dan and Jim over at Hobbies and Happiness. A 3-costed inkable action in steel, Rise of the Titans, banish chosen location or item, an uncommon card with art by Nicola Saviori. Well, we were waiting for it. We were waiting for that banished chosen location. I actually had it down as Ruby. Steel is very often the damage dealer that deals with numbers, whereas Ruby's the one that just gets the unconditional destruction like Dragonfire. So I actually thought Banished Chosen Location would be in Ruby, but here we see it in Steel alongside item as well. The item thing is the thing that really saves this, I think. Again, we just don't know how popular locations are going to be and how much play they'll actually see, but the fact this does both a location or an item, and the fact that it's inkable, makes me think this probably is going to be maybe even a 2-of in some Steel decks, as this is comfortably ink if you don't need it, but if you do, it's going to get rid of some really sort of choice locations, which otherwise would be pretty hard to get rid of. I'm looking at you, Tiana's Palace. Resource in the Ravensburger let Dan and Jim share this one, and even nicer that they put them both on the artwork. Next up, shared by Googly Glimmers. This is a 5-costed inkable 2/5 for 2 lore, Scroop Backstabber. Storyborn villain alien pirate with brute. While this character has damage, he gets +3 to his strength. Uncommon card with art by Carmine Pucci. Scroop here, the mutineer from Treasure Planet, looking incredibly menacing. And a really interesting ability. I feel like we're probably missing a piece to this puzzle. We have a few of these cards now that benefit from being damaged, but even when this one is damaged, it's only really on curve for a vanilla, there being multiple 5-costed 5/5s. So yeah, I will really want to see the payoff for damaging your own characters or having your characters sort of really be aggressively challenging. I feel like there's something not quite there yet to really start making these pop. Next up, 2 Titanic cards from the awesome Katie and Becky over at Live Laugh Lorcana. I've shouted from the rooftops how much I love these 2 girls. They do the most incredible podcast, and it's well worth a listen. And it was awesome to see them get a couple of really quite juicy reveals. First up, a 4-costed inkable 4/1 for 1 lore in Lythos. Rock Titan, Storyborn Titan with Resist 2, and Stone Skin. You can exert him to give a chosen character Resist 2 this turn. Uncommon card with art by Alice Pisoni. So much character in this card, and I actually think this is pretty playable. It still dies to smash, but yeah, really interesting build around, and being able to exert to give something else resist is really quite juicy, I think. And also a 3-costed inkable 2/2 for 2 lore, Hydros, Ice Titan, Storyborn Titan with the ability Blizzard. You can exert this to exert chosen character. Again, uncommon card with art by Alice Pisoni. Love that the flavor text here is Free Zeus, and Lythos has Crush Zeus. Great that these two work together. There's another one coming that makes them even better that we haven't seen yet. But I love Hydros. Basically a slightly juicier Elsa Snow Queen. Can definitely see some play, I think. Next up, a reveal by Lorcana Talks, which is a subsidiary of Duck Talks, which is a sort of DuckTales fan group who have found themselves getting very much into Lorcana. This is a great reveal for them. A 2-costed uninkable item in Sapphire Scrooge's top hat. Business expertise. You can exert this to pay 1 less for the next item you play this turn. Uncommon card with art by Gabrielle Angelo, and this is a lantern for items, basically. It's items doing item things with items. I feel like it's that the what's that Pimp My Ride meme where it's like, hey dog, I heard you liked items for your items, so here's an item that makes items cheaper. And yeah, I don't know. As much as I think this is probably quite good in an item deck because it's a nice cheap item that then makes other items even cheaper, I don't particularly enjoy the playstyle of the item deck, and I just feel like Sapphire, this set is kind of just passing me by. I think this is a good fun card if you're playing a deck that's built around Sapphire items already, but I'd really love to see Sapphire sort of spread its wings and find a sort of second or sort of secondary or tertiary personality. Next up, a second card revealed by the Illuminateers. This is a 1-costed inkable action in Amethyst. Bestow a gift. Move 1 damage counter from chosen character to chosen opposing character. This is a common card with art by Dylan Bonner. This is draft chaff, if nothing else, but my word, what a beautiful piece of art. One thing I absolutely adore about Ravensburger really getting involved with the content creator community and providing these reveals for us to show is that you can really tell that they're looking at the content we're producing and trying to find reveals that fit with it. You know, obviously it's pretty straight and narrow when it comes to Scrooge McDuck's hat going to the DuckTales podcast, but here you can see that obviously the Illuminateers are very passionate about the art in this game, and Ravensburger are sort of celebrating that by providing some of the best stuff out there. They got the Robin Hood reveal the other day, which was beautiful, but this is just absolutely stunning. I would love to know how they pick playmats, because this should be one. And last but by no means least for today's video, 2 reveals from the citizens of Lorcana. Absolute pillars of the community got to show off a couple of awesome cards today. First off, they showed a 7-costed inkable 3/8 for 2 lore in Amber, Pluto Determined Defender. He's a Floodborn ally with Shift 5, Bodyguard, and Guard Dog. At the start of your turn, remove up to 3 damage from this character. Rare card here with art by Dave Alvarez and Alice Pisoni. Woo-wee, what a juicy little card. I say little, he's actually quite beefy. On its own, I just think this is a really solid body. It's going to be very difficult to get rid of with damage-based abilities. You need to take this out in 1 turn, else it just starts getting healed back up again. That's also going to be triggering a lot of other abilities. There's that little Rapunzel that when you heal, you can draw a card, is it? Yeah, the Floodborn Rapunzel from set 2 likes this card quite a lot. And, you know, things like Grand Pabby as well. But I also think this goes really nicely into like an Emerald Amber Mufasa deck. Alongside the Floodborn target for it, a 1-costed uninkable 0/2 for 1 lore Pluto Friendly Pooch Storyborn ally with Good Dog. You can exert this to pay 1 less for your next character you play this turn. Uncommon card with art by Jai Ava Geo. There's no way I've said that right. I'm so sorry. But whilst his Floodborn counterpart is pretty flashy, I actually think this is the stronger of the 2 cards. Basically, Lantern on turn 1. Yes, much easier to kill, but actually, if this sticks around, it's going to get out of hand very quickly. Just imagine the magical Christmas lands. Turn 1, Pluto. Turn 2, Doc. Turn 3, a 7-costed Pluto shifting onto this little one. Yes, it's it comes in exerted. Chances of the little one sticking around for 2 turns exerted is pretty low, but man, if you can pull that off, a 7-drop, 3/8 with Bodyguard on turn 3, it seems pretty good. And awesome art on both of them, and Pluto's a goat, and we love Pluto, and this is great. What an awesome couple of reveals. There you go. That's it for tonight. I say tonight, it's 1 a.m., but I'm trying to get one of these out every day at the moment, at least, while we're in sort of, heavy reveal cycle. We've definitely got some stuff coming on Saturday. My good buddy Baker over at Lorcana Villain has got one, and I know there's a few others as well. And of course, me and Brando will be revealing our card on Monday during our live stream this week in Ink. It does start at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, although we will be taking a look at the other reveals this week before we get onto our one. But either way, we would very much love to see you there. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, be good.